All right, welcome y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Divinely Inspired. Here I'm your host, Nspiyerd, here to inspire you guys back to love through inspired thoughts and conversations. Now, I am going to do this in a three-part series because this question was asked, but I have to do it in three different parts because it's three different scenarios. So with that, I shall begin. First thing, the question is, if you had a friend that so when I was asked this question, I had to take a lot of time to think about, everything about the aspects of this question. So the question was, if you have a friend and said friend, uh you go out to you're walking and there's this gentleman or woman or whatever it is that you are into, say said friend is interested in the gentleman or the woman or the other person, right? And inadvertently the gentleman or the female or the other person, there we go, the other person is interested in you and you become interested in them. Do you talk to said friend about how you feel about said person, how basically, do you ask them for permission or do you just have a conversation? When I asked around for different things, which I'm gonna eventually revamp how this whole thing is going because it's gonna be a little bit different. But when I had time to think about my answer, whew, that was an interesting one because although I would not stop being, first of all, I would just have a conversation. That's my first thing, is have a conversation with said friend and let them know what it is. Now, one thing that I want to point out is you cannot control how other people are going to feel and think. Now, if you decide to not have the conversation and things go south with you and said friend because of, the dynamic, then I would reevaluate that friendship. Simply because I always tell everybody you are allowed to do whatever you want to do. The goal is to figure out where you end and they begin so that you're not merging into their reality because of how they may make you feel or how close you are or how long you've been friends. Because in the next two videos, when I am explaining the other two aspects of this whole situation, you'll understand that although we are here, yes, we are friends, yes, you don't have to ask for permission to be you. You don't have to ask for permission to show up fully and love who you want to love or be with who you want to be with. Now, some people, sorry, I got ants all over my thing because I'm having lunch at the park. But I know some people, they get they feel some kind of way because they're like, oh, you shouldn't date somebody that I like. If you have that mentality, I guess I just want you to ask yourself why. Why? What is it in that scenario that would cause you to want to not move forward in said emotions because of someone else? You don't ever want to give yourself up for anybody else, especially if it goes against what your soul is seeking. So always remember, it's okay to be selfish in some moments as long as there's communication. When you guys are watching me, for those of you who are watching me, you are looking for unconditional love. You are looking to give unconditional love and also receive unconditional love. The only way to do that is to understand where you are in life, where you are as far as connecting on a deeper level with the people around you. Because the people around you either going to rise to where you are or they just going to fall away. And part of this journey is difficult for a lot of people because they tend to fall away, especially in my life. God dang, it would be nice It would just be freaking nice. But they fall away because they can't rise to the occasion. You should never lower yourself, make yourself smaller for anybody else. Anybody else. Doesn't matter who it is. You matter just as much as anybody else. So if anybody is causing you to feel some kind of way because I like this person and you should like them, and that sounds like something they need to work through on their own. Because at the end of the day, you can either accept it, reject it, or whatever. I don't know what to tell you. May need some journaling or something. But if you are listening to me, welcome to the stage of unconditional love, because it is not easy. It is full of boundaries. It is full of what's the other word? Y'all, I had this whole thing set up. Isn't it funny how spirit work? You start talking and then they be like, no, that's not what I want you to say. But unconditional love is, if you can't give it to yourself, don't expect to be able to give it to anybody else. Let me say that too. You have to be able to show yourself unconditional love. Because however you loving yourself is how you're going to love somebody else. So be mindful. If you don't want somebody to do something to you, then don't do it to them. So if you want somebody to come to you with a conversation about that situation, go to them. And always, something that somebody always has told me in the past, if the people that you are trying to communicate with are understanding, do you think they can accept how you feel and what you're thinking? Because you always want to surround yourself. Let me get up straight before I get hit by a car, y'all. This whole phone go flying everywhere. Let me get behind you out of the street. There we go. But whenever you are creating your community, thank you, Spirit, because I saw my Hood Love community card from my weed that come up. But you're creating community. You want people around you that are as a representation of an aspect of your soul. Did I say that right? You want people around you that is an aspect of your soul. So each person in your life represents something. I know I said this in another video, but each person in your life represents something. So figure out what said friend represents for you and see if you can help tend to them, but not, because you don't want to take it away from them. You want them to be able to work through the situation if they decide to do so. But you also want to be able to show up for them in a way that, is conducive to their growth and yours without crossing boundaries. That's the best way to put it. If your relationships around you are causing you to cross your boundaries and theirs, time for a reevaluation or a conversation. All right? I have to get back to work. So thank you all for watching. I will be posting this on YouTube. I'm not sure if my next 15 or the next one or whenever I go out again, if I'm going to do another one, but I am going to do a second video for the second and third parts of this question, because it was very interesting. And then I have a third one that I might just go straight to YouTube for, but I'm not sure. But again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to not give yourself up for nobody else. Love yourself the way you want somebody to love you. And have them boundaries. Be yourself. And don't let nobody tell you what to do but you. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day, because I'm about to holla.